The hosts of The View didn't hold back when it came to discussing Shane Gillis' controversial opening monologue at the 2025 ESPY Awards. Known for his boundary-pushing comedy, Gillis delivered a performance packed with political jabs, uncomfortable punchlines, and pop culture digs, and while his routine drew mixed reactions on social media, it didn't land so well with everyone in the live audience, especially not with the women at the table on The View. Whoopi Goldberg, herself no stranger to the pressure of hosting major events like the Academy Awards, opened the conversation with an unimpressed look and a fair but pointed question. Do you think he read that room correctly? It was clear from her tone and her body language that she didn't think so. Joy Behar jumped in immediately, saying, No. She explained that when people attend award shows, they're mostly just waiting to hear their names announced, not to sit through a stand-up set filled with sharp-edged commentary. According to Behar, it's a completely different environment than a comedy club, and failing to read that room is a huge misstep. Despite her criticism, Behar did acknowledge the difficulty of doing stand-up comedy, calling it one of the hardest crafts in entertainment. Drawing from her own decades-long experience as a stand-up comedian, she described being on stage as a uniquely vulnerable position, like being naked while everyone else is clothed. That vulnerability, she said, is what makes stand-up so difficult to pull off, especially in front of a mixed audience like the one at the ESPYs. Alyssa Farah Griffin took a more nuanced view, suggesting that maybe Gillis was performing more for the television audience than the crowd in the arena. She noted that while the in-person crowd seemed lukewarm, reactions online appeared to be more favorable. She admitted that she finds Gillis funny, but she watches him with the same tension she reserves for horror movies, half laughing, half waiting to be horrified. His reputation for pushing boundaries and occasionally crossing lines means that watching him comes with a kind of anticipatory discomfort. Still, she defended the broader importance of comedians taking risks, saying that comedy needs space to challenge norms and provoke thought, especially in serious or divided times. However, Behar had a clear critique of one particular moment in Gillis' monologue when he disowned one of his jokes, saying, "I didn't write that." For Behar, that was a cardinal sin in comedy. She referenced Johnny Carson, a legendary late-night host, who never once blamed a writer for a bad joke. In her view, if you're going to deliver it, you own it. Passing the buck when something flops is a rookie mistake and shows a lack of professionalism. Sarah Haynes added that she sensed Gillis' nerves throughout his performance. While Behar reminded her that bombing on stage is part of the gig, Haynes argued that Gillis missed an opportunity to shift his energy, perhaps by giving more heartfelt shout-outs to the athletes in the room instead of following every compliment with a punchline. She suggested there was room in the performance for more sincerity, which might have helped him connect better with a live audience. Behar then noted that it takes a specific skill to work a room, a skill Gillis might not fully possess yet. Being funny isn't always enough. Knowing your audience is key. Meanwhile, Sunny Hostin surprised some of her co-hosts by admitting that she actually found parts of Gillis' set amusing. She specifically mentioned his Epstein joke, one of the more polarizing lines, and said it made her laugh. But Behar cautioned against assuming everyone in the room, or at home, would understand the reference. In comedy, she warned, it's a mistake to think your audience shares your news feed or sense of humor. Wrapping up the discussion, Whoopi Goldberg made a final point. If you really know how to deliver your material, you can make it work, even edgy stuff. But doing so without being offensive or careless takes talent, experience, and awareness. With a little humor and humility, she added, "So, what do I know? I'm a used to be," ending the segment with a touch of self-deprecating grace. In the end, the View's take was clear. Shane Gillis may have comedic chops, but when it comes to high-stakes stages like the ESPYs, the ability to connect, adapt, and respect the room is just as important as getting the laughs.